Hey again, everybody. Todd Michael Putnam from Creative Adventure Tables, bringing you another adventure table idea. This one is Cloud Top Mountains. Cloud Top Mountains. So the idea is that way down below, at the base of the mountains, in the valley below, um, there's a caravan route that in the last several months or so is getting ransacked, and like stuff's getting burnt to a crisp, and then the people are being slaughtered, and it's like some of the wagons and even the horses themselves drawing it, they're slaughtered and or carried away. And so the local barony has said, hey, we'll put out, of course, a reward for anyone who can put a stop to it. We believe whatever's doing this, it's some creature, some mythical creature, whatever it is from that's hiding way up at the top of the mountains and swooping down. And so the players are basically going to be climbing across the tops of the mountains to try and find this creature. So we'll start in this area here. So this is, these are supposed to be the tops of the mountains, and then you can see, the valley and stuff way down below. I tried to create a perspective kind of thing of, of height basically, or altitude. So the players will start off here. This will be the last of the marked trail up near the top of the mountains. The road's all busted up because it's not really used. This last stone bridge is the last bridge of civilization across the top of the mountains. And the first thing they're going to run into is some enemy NPCs. That these guys are basically a rival crawler band, a rival crawler group. They're chaotic in nature, and they're also after the bounty. And they have no problems whatsoever. Basically telling the players to F off, and if they don't, then they're going to fight them for it. They're going to say that they're here first, etc., so on and so forth. But really what it boils down to is they're just super greedy. And so when the players go to cross the bridge, they're going to act friendly at first, and then they're going to open fire on them to try and take care of them as fast as they can. So that's the first one. Then when they go across this, there's going to be a small wooden bridge here. They climb up, and there's going to be this big cloud bank. And when they get past this cloud bank to the top of this right here, they're just going to see this big stretch of open area to the next set of the mountain peaks, and it's going to be like 1,000 yards away. You can see it, but there's no bridge getting there. However, there is going to be a gnome who has a hot air balloon who's basically traveling around, and he's going to be up here, and he'll ferry the players across if they can make a deal with him. He'll ferry them across, and they pay him a certain amount of gold, or maybe leather products and stuff to fix this balloon, maybe food supplies. But he'll do it. But he can't bring them all across at once, just in twos or threes. On the first trip, as they're going across, it'll be like 10 rounds to get across each way. The first trip, this giant eagle is going to be very hungry, and he's going to be going after the gnome as a snack. And so the players will have to fend it off. The giant eagle will not fight to the death because he's just basically hungry, and if he can get easier meal someplace else, he certainly will. But in the meantime, he's going to go after it. And then the players, some of them were left behind. They're going to have to use whatever they have for fighting it far. So longbows, spells, things of that nature. Melee weapons aren't going to do any good unless they're physically on the air balloon that's going across. So they'll drop him off on the other side. Then he's got to make the trip back. On the trip back, the eagle's going to take another swipe at him since he sees that he's just there by himself. And so then they're all going to have to use ranged weapons, either from this side over here, this cliff right there where you see the griffins at the moment, or this one. The remaining players are basically going to have to ward him off with ranged attacks. When he finally gets back over here, picks up the rest of the players, and comes back, the eagle will have gone, but he'll have pissed off basically some air elementals, some high-level air elementals, who basically see the hot air balloon as a form of slavery because it basically superheats air and then traps it inside to basically use it as a form of locomotion. And so the air elementals will be pissed off, and they will harass the players all the way across. And again, ranged weapons and melee is what's going to be necessary in order to try and make it across. So basically 3 trips that they'll have to be defending. When they get to the other side, they'll travel across some more mountaintops, theater of mind. Hey, you travel for another couple hours or so, and then finally you get to a bridge here, and there's going to be a group of griffins, a family of griffins, that's going to attack up here while they're trying to cross this bridge. They'll be on both sides, here, and of course attacking on the bridge itself. So they have to fight them off. And then the players have to climb down a little bit and around over to here. And they find when the clouds move that there's a cave opening. And they can't climb over the top of this particular mountain. They're going to have to go through it to see what's going on. So, and by the way, since fire and stuff had burned the other creatures, had burned the caravans and stuff, they knew the griffins weren't the ones that were causing it. They knew the eagle wasn't, or the air elementals. So, yep, there were dangerous creatures up there, but by process of elimination, they can know that no, those weren't the creatures that were responsible for the attacking the caravan down below. It's something that can breathe fire, maybe a dragon or something. So they come in here and they go through the mountain, and there's a couple of big old ogres that are in here. And what do they live off of? Well, there's these like fungi-like creatures. Basically, there's large mushrooms that are here, but some of them are like animated and alive, and they sprout up fairly regularly, and they're kind of meaty. I don't know if you ever ate a mushroom or not, but they have a sort of a meaty taste to them. And so basically the ogres kind of content themselves with beating them to death and eating them. Same thing with this much bigger ogre over here. And so, of course, they have to fight through them and maybe save some of the mushrooms or whatever that are relatively peaceful and defeat the ogres. And then finally, last but not least, they come to this broken bridge, which they have to cross to the top of the final mountain peak. But when they get there, they finally come to the nemesis, the cause of all the problems, a chimera, which it does fly, but it also breathes fire and stuff. I know it's a black dragon on this one right here, but, you know, go with it. So they'll have to, and of course, the evidence will be here because the missing carts and some of the missing horses and stuff are all up. The bodies are here. It's just carried stuff off, and it's feasting on all of that. So they have the big final battle here. And once they defeat it, there's a cave that it actually lives in. And when you pop it open and they crawl inside, that's where all the treasure that it stole and stuff was. So that's it. That is the Cloudtop Mountains, and that's the adventure. So I used a battle map that I got from Cigar Box, as I think the name of the company. And it's basically an aerial map. And it has clouds built in onto the map. That's part of the map itself. That's part of the fabric. But then on top of that, I just threw some doll stuffing that I got off Amazon to use. So I can make cloud-like effects. So like when they first come up to this area here, there's this huge cloud. When the cloud passes, that's when they'll see the big hot air balloon and be, oh, okay, there's a way to move forward. Most of the rest of this stuff is Dwarven Forge and or 3D prints from EC 3D Design. So that's basically it. All Dwarven Forge here, all Dwarven Forge here, and then this one and these taller peaks and stuff. Those are all the mountains from EC 3D Design. So that's it. Hope you enjoy, and leave your comments below, like and subscribe if you haven't already, if you want to see more adventures, and I will see you guys next adventure. Take care. Bye.